God created humans and witches where the witches' magic became prosperity and peace for humanity. However, the Redia Empire developed technology that advances magic, meaning it is no longer needed, and humanity went against and eradicated all witches. A powerful witch Chloe and her human apprentice Adonis are walking in the desert, and they are attacked by soldiers. Adonis says his kind deserve to be destroyed for this, and he wants to do it despite Chloe's reasoning. But they are suddenly transported to the Redia Empire, where they are met by Emperor Goth. Chloe gets stripped and humiliated in front of the crowd. When Adonis is about to be killed after insulting them, Chloe begs Goth to spare his life and lets herself get executed. Adonis is angered by humanity's display of cruelty and the loss of the one who loved and cared about him. 10 years later, in an internment camp, the prisoners Doroka and Anna talk about the belief that humanity would be happy once the witches were gone wasn't true, as humanity began fighting each other. The Redia Empire started wars that never end and capture people from other lands. Doroka is about to be sold but escapes while freeing the prisoners. She runs into a room where a contained Adonis is about to be freed, ready for revenge. Adonis breaks free and kills the guards. The military is alert by Adonis's escape and searches for him. Adonis combines magic and weaponry to turn a bullet gigantic to a building and begins his revenge by killing all citizens of the Redia Empire. Operator Executive Eekhout kills the prisoners and the personnel for causing this. Adonis summons a giant robot to cause destruction and goes to confront Goth. Adonis fights back the soldiers as he spends 10 years to determine the most precise way to slaughter a nation. Adonis summons Bullet Bell to brutally gun down and massacring all the citizens. Doroka runs to stop Adonis. Adonis is angered when Doroka says the people are innocent and says humans always fight dirty and use cheap tricks. Doroka reveals she knows him, and she is in fact a witch. She and the witches survived, and they couldn't save Chloe because they were desperate to escape. Doroka says they can bring Chloe back to life, and she infiltrated the Redia Empire to save him in order to bring back Chloe. They need Adonis and his memories of her to do it. Adonis begins to see Doroka speaks the truth, and Doroka tells him he is not alone anymore. But Doroka is shot by Eekhout. In the past, young Doroka experienced the attack and destruction by human soldiers, and her friend Mia tells her to run to Madame Ophelia for safety. A wounded Doroka slowly dies, and Adonis uses magic to send bullets back at the soldiers. Eekhout shots at Adonis, but it is stopped and is sent back at him in gigantic size. Eekhout dies by the impact. Yamato's sister Yuki wants to use the magic suppression device, but is stopped by Theta. Yamato gets a call from Theta, who tells about human cellular dysfunction disease. The soldiers were affected by particles from the devices during the witch hunts 10 years ago soon died as the device kills cells. Because there are no more witches left to restore the natural environment and cleanse harmful rays are gone. Meaning using the device on wide range will cause people to be exposed by particles and eventually die by it. Goat stood before the device which caused Goat's illness. However, Yuki still wants to activate the device for the Redia Empire despite the illnesses. Theta stops this, but both Yuki and Theta are exposed hard. Adonis is weakened and a woman soldier then beheads him. The incident is over and Goat speaks about the greatness of the Redia Empire. Chief Oz talks to Charmy about analysis on Adonis, and Charmy discovers the body is a fake. Adonis wakes up somewhere. Adonis remembers the one who beheaded him actually used duplication magic to create fake body of him to fake his death, and she turns out to be Anna, who sends to him to Madame Ophelia. Ophelia tells him he is in the nation of witches. They all knew Chloe, but Chloe was cast out of the witches' nation for teaching magic to a human child. Adonis discover they are on the moon, and the witches came to this place 10 years ago as the new witches' nation Lunamilia. Ophelia shows Adonis the tree Mito that produces witches. Witches are unisex, so unlike humans, they do not have mating pairs, and they receive life from the trees, and this tree is the last as humans burned all the other Mito. As the only tree that can birth and regenerate witches, memory is life itself, and if Adonis puts his memories of Chloe in the fruit, which will resurrected her. Adonis is met by Anna, who is angry that Adonis is not showing grateful towards Doroka as she died for him. Adonis tells her he knows the witches are planning to use Chloe, as he remembers Doroka warned him about. The witches plan to kidnap human slaves and kids, teach them about the same way Adonis used magic, and make them fight, as the witches need an alternative source of defense. Only Chloe can make quills. But despite this, Adonis still wants to resurrect Chloe and going to follow her will. On the ceremony to bring Chloe back to life, Adonis puts memories of her in the fruit and sees through flashbacks with her. However, Chloe was in pain and they can't live in this world alone. The witch is born, who is the resurrected Doroka. Adonis is unable to bring Chloe back to life due to the way of the world has become, and resurrect Doroka to repay her back for saving him. Ophelia and the witches are upset that Adonis did this after what they did for him. Adonis says he won't resurrect Chloe. But suddenly people is about to arrive due to Adonis had a tracking chip on him during his time as a prisoner. The tracking chip explode, which causes the Mito to be burned. Yamato and soldiers have come for Adonis and the witches. Adonis fight Yamato while Ophelia and the witches easily kills the soldiers. But more squads are coming. Back at the Redia Empire, Theta explains how the witches have managed to hide themselves on the moon. Yamato cuts down many witches including Ophelia. Doroka is saved by Anna of her duplication magic, but she herself is fatally wounded. Adonis gives Yamato powerful attacks and cuts of his arm. Yamato is about to finish Adonis off. Back at the Redia Empire, they try to get video back on, as they have no idea what happened on the battlefield. Yamato is on the monitor, who says all the witches the moon are dead, but his eyes shows he is actually Adonis. Yamato and the soldiers are stopped by Doroka, who uses her love spell. Yamato tries to resist and Doroka tells Yamato to end this and make peace. Yamato resists enough to attack and beating Doroka. Yamato says the delusional belief about the witches and Adonis. But Doroka gives Yamato a reality check that he has killed countless people too, which shocks him. She asks why doing this to them, even if they don't need the witches now that they have science. There's no need to kill them. Both races used to be living in harmony, and orders Yamato to retreat. Yamato's refusal to listen eventually falls under the love spell. Yamato is stabbed trough the head and beheaded by Adonis. Goth is informed about Adonis and the witches. Goth suddenly acting insane and strange. His queen used love's spell on him and orders him to kill himself. Goth then tells the reason he made the Redia Empire the strongest nation in the world with their technology, and killing all the witches was all for his queen, as he did everything she told him to do. Goth falls and impaled to death. Her magic only controls men, and it doesn't work on women. She wanted to get rid of her kind, and is the mastermind behind everything. She orders Shirusagi to bring her Adonis. Her real name is Dorothea Gret, Witch of the Unknown. She possesses a quill and pictures of a red-haired man who looks like Adonis. Adonis uses Yamato's face to trick the people and to give him transfer back. Ophelia sees how Adonis planned to escape the moon. He sacrificed the witches for that. Adonis takes Doroka, and they are about to be transferred, but back at the Redia Empire they are aware of the trickery and are ready for them. Theta and the soldiers are shocked that Adonis doesn't show up and they don't know where he is. Adonis and Doroka are in the wastelands as Adonis changed the location of the transfer. Adonis begins planning with the destruction of the Redia Empire and procure information and supplies on their way there. Doroka wants to go back and scold Adonis for his behavior. Adonis shows what Doroka tried to do and sees why the witches don't like Doroka, as she wanted to reconcile with humans so easily. Adonis says Chloe's life is more precious to him than all of humanity, and the world who took her from him deserve to be destroyed. Doroka says to Adonis she won't tell him to forgive them for what they've done, but if he continue with his revenge, it will shatter his heart and he'll end up like the humans who took Chloe from him. Adonis bleeds from his injuries and a group of bikers find them. Adonis wakes up in a place and is met by the leader Punch. The residents are people from developing countries, refugees and slaves who have escaped from Redia. Later in the evening during the party, The people fall asleep as Adonis changed the alcohol's formula and leaves Doroka due to not wanting her to end up like him. Punch reveals to Doroka he knows who Adonis is, as in the past he was dying until Chloe and Adonis saved him. Punch is one of the humans who didn't go against the witches. Punch says Adonis chose revenge even if it leads to his death. That's his choice. Doroka won't let Adonis die and goes after him on the motorcycle. Adonis and Doroka travel together.